Hi everybody, hi friends, welcome to the show today. It's an honor to be here with you and a privilege. So there's so much interesting energy going on right now around us, to us, through us, from us, within us, and I feel it, I know you feel it too. People write to me and talk about it all the time, and I've been expressing it myself. So we're going to get into that a little bit today. And I'm also going to have a guest who's been with us before from the past to join me here in person. This is Creative Visions TV, and I'm your host, Karen Dahlman. So our guest today, you guys know him. He's connected with me through the board. It's Rodney. Rodney's with us today. Hey, Rodney.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're joining me today and joining us here so we can do a session for you. We're going to talk a little bit about these energies and possible ways to work with them and how to rephrase them, reframe them within your life and maybe reset your button. And then we're going to get into some messages from the guides. So
it's been a while.
It's been a while since we have done a session with you for you guys. It's been about a month, 2 months maybe?
Oh, at least 2 months since we've done it.
For them.
For them.
Rodney and I will get together, and for us it's been a little over a month ourselves. We were just talking about that earlier. I've been mostly working with the guides and their energy directly within my mind and my heart, and through more voice channeling. So I've been doing that a little bit more, and
it's a transition you've been trying to make for a while. So I'm happy to see you're doing it.
Thank you.
I missed the board, but I'm happy to see you're going the direction you want to go.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's always, it's like home on the board, but yet the messages are so much more profound when I allow them just to flow through me, because they're not so laborious and tedious to spell them out with this planchette.
Didn't they tell us one time when we tried several boards and then we put this board down, they said home, didn't they?
They did. We tried a bunch of, because we were trying out a bunch of different boards. I have a big collection. Well, I call it big. 21 boards is a lot. They're on my walls and are sitting around the house. But we were trying different boards, and I love doing my different boards. I have some really cool artistic boards I'd love to use too. So we use them, but I've been using this board, you guys, this one from 1973 since then. It's my original board, and they said home because it feels like home to me. It's just home. I'm so comfortable with it.
I remember that.
And for you, this is the only board, well, the first board you ever used too.
That worked. I mean, that did what we do.
Yeah, but you never used a board before till you met me and you saw what I was doing. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about this auspicious energy that's happening right now. This is really a cool time. And today, when we're recording this, is August 7th, 2017. There's actually a full moon today and a partial lunar eclipse. Now I want to talk about that. The full moon is in Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius. And the sign of Aquarius is like an innovator, progressive, thinker, has great ideas, revolutionize things. Create, renew, and they're very forward thinking. And the full moon is in this sign, which really helps this moon. Now, a lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse, is like a portal opening. It's like a gateway. It's like using this tool to open yourself up into other realms. And what's really fascinating about this opening is that it has a beginning and ending. So the beginning is right now, right around 3 days before, right around this time, but we wanted to do it on today because it's the full moon. And then we have 2 weeks in there until August 21st. Now, August 21st, we have a full solar eclipse. It's in the sign of Leo. A full solar eclipse, and when you see it, the zone of influence where you're going to see it the most, where it affects everybody, okay? It affects everything in the cosmology. But you're going to see it, be able to see it in the United States, and there's a path that it's taking, and so it's going to be very clear in some of these areas. So there's going to be a lot of effect of that eclipse, that solar eclipse, on the United States, since it's transiting, crossing that area. But what's cool about these two eclipses is that one is the openness, like you opened a door and stepped in, and the second one is like the door now is being closed again, and so you have 2 weeks to really work with this energy. This energy, again, is about renewal, because it's about, you got Aquarius here as the sign. It's renewal. It's recharging. It's becoming reinvigorated. It's about stepping out and stepping into who you really are. Now, all transformation occurs within. So it's time to look within yourself and really reset that button to become the person you want to be. So reflect. Right now you want to reflect on where you've been and where you're going. And when you start doing that, you can then allow these energies to be set as intentions. And now you have something, a goal, if you can call it a goal. I don't usually like the word goal, but let's just use the word intentions. You have a focus and intentions of a direction you want to go, and this energy is here right now to support this transformation. What's going on, and I know you all know this because you wouldn't be watching this channel unless you understand some of these concepts. There is a huge awakening in the consciousness of humankind. Humanity is waking up. We are beginning to realize there are these unseen dimensions, that we realize that we exist in them, although we can't always see them. They're around us anyway. And part of this awakening is beginning to understand how they influence us, how they work through us, how we work with them, and that we're all interconnected. It's this great awakening. And a lot of people are talking about it. You'll hear the word fifth dimension. This is a third dimension reality, 3D, and we're moving into that fifth dimension. We're moving into the fourth, the fifth, and transitioning. And part of that transitioning has to make us go into some dark nights of the soul within ourselves. We have to really look at ourselves and have the trials and tribulations. Now that's part of being a human. It's part of our experience, but it's speeding up and you're feeling it more and more. And right now, this is prime time to really, really look at yourself and allow these transformations to happen. So get your intentions set. I know for myself, I was feeling some chaos in my life a little bit, ups and downs, and some things that didn't go the way I wanted them to go, and we have that all the time, but they started to influence me in a more negative or impactful way. So I got out my sage stick, you guys, and I saged myself, and while doing that, I set some really powerful intentions for myself. Now the sage doesn't necessarily do anything to me, although a lot of the native cultures, and I like it too, it feels like it clears the space, and so that's nice. I was seeing it as like a ritual bath in a way, so I was cleansing myself with this smoke and my words, and I was using very much empowering words, and I'm going to give you a mantra here you can use yourself, but I was saying things such as, I am free to make decisions. I am who I am, and I love who I am. I express myself to the best that I can. Things of that nature. Really state your I am messages to yourself. That's getting your intentions. Now, I'm going to state a little mantra you can use right now that's going to help you through this time of moving into this awakening period of these 2 weeks. And I want you to think about this as a time for your heart and your mind to come together. We need to work with the apparatus we've been given and let them come, and so they can fully support each other. The mantra I have here is, I receive love. I radiate love. Love is source, and source is love. Source flows through me, therefore I am source. Never forget that you are this divine being, and this time of awakening is to remember that, to reclaim that, to recall that, and to become that again. So, with that, Rodney and I are going to start a session. Does that sound good to you?
Works for me.
Okay. So let us get ready. We'll do our prayer that we normally do. We'll hold our hands, the circuitry exercise, and then we're just going to ask them to whatever they want to tell us, they can tell us. And I'm specifically going to be asking them to talk about this time, these energies that are happening, and maybe give us some more insight into them and how you can work with them. But this is a message that's for you, the subscribers and the viewers of this channel. And again, thank you for being here. We're just going to take a few moments and do our breathing exercise. We do this to ground ourselves and to open our hearts. God, Goddess, Universe, Spirit, all our guides and all our relations. We are here today, Rodney, Karen, and all of you out there that are watching this show. We are here together to understand these wonderful energies that are coming to us, that are opening, awakening, and uplifting us. We seek guidance, universal truths, wisdom, knowledge, and messages that can help us, that can inspire us, that can guide us, that can help us get through anything that we need to move through. And also then to welcome into our lives that which we seek and desire. And allow ourselves to express the greatness that is really residing within. That is just urging itself, wanting to come out and be who we are supposed to be in this world right now. It's a great time to be alive. And we are here to thank you for this opportunity to be in communication with you. We always thank you in advance. We appreciate your time. And with that, we say thank you and we will begin. Okay, as you know, I've got my paper here. I put the date down. Today again is the 7th of August. And I like to put the time down too. It's actually 4:20 p.m. Pacific time in California. Okay, you ready? W E E S P O K E. C H O I C E. Okay. Wow. First page. Here we go. The heart is where good love and wisdom reside. This is what is known as source code. Within your heart, there is no evil or evil intent. This is because Source has no evil and only gives to each of you only good. As you were born, you know only good, so where does evil come from? Well, you were given two distinct gifts. The first is pure love, and the second is absolute choice. So they're talking about a code that's put in your heart. I guess you could talk about DNA. I think it's beyond DNA, but they're saying I would say that's actually with your source of yourself, which is your soul, your spirit. But we'll ask for some clarification. So let me read it again. They use we as...
We.
Yeah. They said, and by the way, if you have not gone to my moon messages, I just released a moon message this last weekend, and it was about evil, the source of evil, and I highly recommend you read that. It's just a short little thing, but it was something they gave me, and so that's what they're referring to, and they say, we spoke. So let me read it again. We spoke earlier of evil and shared much with you. Yes, the heart is where good, love, and wisdom reside. This is what is known as source code.
I think that, if I can interrupt, I think that, in your computer, there's also a source code.
Oh, very interesting, that's right. Kind of like it's like the frame,
right.
It?
Right, the coding for what everything that goes on in a computer.
Okay, interesting. So and we can equate our brain with a computer, if you want to say that. You can equate it with a computer, and it's our mind and heart that allow us to have the feeling along with it. But it transmits, right? It transmits, it receives, right. It makes things happen in the body, kind of regulates things, right? Okay, that's interesting. Source code. This is what is known as source code. Within your heart, there is no evil or evil intent. This is because source has no evil and only gives to each of you only good. As you were born, you know only good. So where does evil come from? So they're asking us a question. They say, you are given two distinct gifts. The first is pure love. The second is absolute choice, which basically means free will. So, further, as our listeners or viewers or audience would like to hear more, A, S, Y, O, U. Okay, so this is what they said. As you stay in your heart, you emit only and receive only love. However, to stay in heart space always loses your gift of choice, which resides in your mind or higher self. So they're saying, I guess your gift of choice resides in your mind or your higher self. Because the mind doesn't necessarily equate with brain, you guys. I know we've made it to seem like that. Where truly the mind, how I see it, is it resides more out here. It's a multifaceted aspect of us that touches into all the other dimensions. It's that part of us that's like the higher self. It's the oversoul of ourself that allows us to reach into other realms. So let's see it that way. So they're saying this gift of choice resides in your mind or higher self, this greater part of you that's expansive and reaches out into all these other dimensions. But they're also saying if you were always to stay in your heart space, if you're forced to be there, although it's a great place to be, it's not sensible, it's not reasonable, because then you lose your gift of choice. We were given the gift of free will to make our choices. So I think what they're saying too, Roddy, when I think about it, you have ups and downs. It's as a human in third dimension, there's no way in heck or hell you're going to be able to stay in a la place of flowers and unicorns and rainbows, you know.
But
right?
I think it's saying that Source is saying, I don't want you to.
Right.
I'm giving you two gifts. They're in my mind, they're equal, right? I'm giving you love, which is love it's within
right.
your heart, and I'm giving you free choice. What are you going to do with it, right? And that's in your higher self. And they have to be compatible. They have to, you know. Well,
we're going to go in and out of it. We're going to go in and out of being able to feel loving, and we're going to go in and out of being able to be in our heart space. But I love the fact that it was a gift given to us to make these choices. So I also hear at this time when there's hard stuff going on, to maybe be gentle with yourself, get in the heart space with yourself and say, okay, it's hard to maybe always be in there all the time, but it's okay if I go in and out. That's my choice. But also it's my choice to either choose things to be, you know, horrible and they're the worst thing in the world that happened to me, or to say, okay, I'm going to make, you know, lemonade out of these lemons. Okay, that's very interesting, good information. All right, so we will progress. A, S, U, I, important. They further said, as you step from your heart to your higher self, there is a kind of bridge that one must traverse. It is this place where choice becomes important. Okay.
So that's I'm just trying to picture it in my mind, right? We're saying from my heart, I want to go into my higher self. I want to go start making choices, and it's this bridge from my heart to my mind where.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so yeah, so imagine a bridge. Imagine like yourself sitting here with the bridge you're going to cross, and this bridge you want to cross takes you into this space where you're so much more than just what's encompassed or encased within your body here. You're so much more. You're with your part of yourself that's so expansive and understands your divinity and knows who you really are. And so it's your power of that gift of choice that allows you to go into the higher self. You have to choose that, and it's the quality, I'm going to say quality of the choice we make that allows us to be in that space. If you're thinking negative, ugly thoughts about yourself or about others, you can't make that transition into the higher self. So it's saying you have a choice, and it's going to be, fueled by the intentions, fueled by basically your choices, that allows you to cross that bridge into these other realms that are very rewarding. It allows you to be, like we talked about in the beginning, to transform yourself into this great awareness of your consciousness that reaches out into the cosmos, that allows you to experience yourself in these greater ways and express yourself in these expansive ways. So that's all through a choice. I love that, the bridge. I love the idea of the bridge, crossing that over, and that's the choice.
Yeah, it's kind of a transition, right?
Yeah, it is a transition place. Okay. Oh, I need a drink first.
Swig.
Wait, they didn't, hold on. They're going, I'm not paying attention. Okay, let's start. W, sorry about that, guys. H, A, T. H, S. Okay, so after we talked about the bridge that you must traverse, which is where the choice becomes important, from the self to the going into the higher self. Okay, what then is your first choice that must be made as we grow and experience all different emotions and feelings? We must first and foremost decide what we will bring from the heart to the higher self. Okay. N, O, P, O, S, possible. Okay. And they went on to say, now since the heart only knows good, wisdom, and love, the choice would seem obvious. And as a young child, this is all you know, and are still very near source, love, and your awareness is quite keen, and all things are possible. So as a young child, this is all you know. All you know is that what you're close to. You're close to the heart. And all you know is good, wisdom, and love. That's all you know as a young child. And are still very near source. Because you just in a way left source in terms of when you come into the third dimension. You're still connected. You're so greatly connected. This is why a lot of children have these experiences and recall talking to, imaginary playmates. They may see spirits experience. They have heightened awareness because they're using all their abilities that they were brought to this earth, and everything for them is pure and good, And of course things happen and it changes everybody's perspective as they grow. But ultimately when we first enter this world, we come this way, so close and attached to source, so that's all we know. And it says, and then your awareness is quite keen and all things are possible. Remember as a child, the magic of being a child, just the magical time you could lay in the grass through clouds all day and think that you can make a move. Well, some people do make a move. But we believed in all that magical thinking and were told that it was just fake and play. And truly the children are onto something. They fully understand more of a connectedness. And many children are coming in, as you know, with these abilities and awarenesses. And this time right now is the time for us to reawaken ourselves to that childlike innocence, the gifts that we came in when we were born. You want to say anything about that?
No, that's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, it always is fascinating.
No, but the thing is, my mind races, and we're doing this. My mind's still going a mile a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I hear what comes next. I go, okay, that's not just what I thought.
No, I know. And I'll get some of the words, as you guys know. We've talked about this before, but for the most part, I purposely call the letters to distract myself so I can remove myself from the process, dissociate as much as possible, and just give them the space. It's like I opened a door, stepped aside, and allowed them to come through. By the way, this is one of the things I'm learning too. When you work with the unseen dimensions and start working with these, your abilities to tap into these, it is like opening a door. It's like this portal we're talking about with this lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. It's like this is doorways opens. You open it yourself. You purposely open it, and you allow yourself to step aside, in a way, let go, and allow the imagination of the heart, the choices, these things to flow through. And so you have to switch from this left brain to more of a right brain. I've talked about this before. Okay, let's see what else they have to say. A, S, Y, O, U. F, O, G, G, Y. Oh, okay. And further with this concept, they said, as you grow or mature, you take on teachers like parents, friends, and school teachers you learn from. You learn from many sources. Now the way across the bridge may become foggy. So what they're saying is when we came into this world, we understood it all. We may not have been able to communicate it to the level that the elders would use their voice and communicate, but we understood. And they're saying once you start taking all these teachers and friends and school teachers and all this stuff, that's part of our culture and society. They're saying now the way across the bridge may become foggy.
Interesting.
False information? Well, you know what it is? It's we have a certain way we think our culture, society, way we should be, and it's getting better. There's a lot more leeway to learn in new ways and not being forced into such of a curriculum or routine. And I think what they're saying is we're just not looking at schools. We're not just looking at an institution. We're looking at just the way we learn. One of the things they had said to me before, and you remember this, they said, as a child, I would use telepathy to communicate with some of my guides. And I kind of remember them just talking and hearing them and not really giving it too much thought. But they said as soon as you learn language, it's like it just changed. It just changed some of my abilities. Not that language is bad, but they're saying some of these sources that we're learning stuff from just kind of messes it up a little. It makes it foggy. Okay, well, let's see where this is going, what they have to say next. T, H, E, okay, no E. T, H, R, O, U, G, H. D, I, F, difference. Through this fog, how one discerns good from evil. This is why choice is so important, and the knowledge of the roots of evil must be understood. Evil is usually a tool to fool the masses, not usually the one. How does one recognize the difference?
So it's a tool to fool the masses. Not trying to fool you or me. They're trying to fool everybody.
Yeah, but we're saying they. I'm trying to understand what's the emphasis behind that? What's Where does it start? So they're saying, through this fog, how one discerns good from evil. Oh, through the fog, I get it. Through this fog is how one discerns good from evil. So the fog is like all the teaching, all the lessons, all the things that are coming at us.
Right.
Okay.
So I have all this, now my mind's foggy. Which one's good, which one's evil, which one do I listen to?
Okay, but that's how you discern. So you need the teaching and all that to help discern.
Right, you need it all.
Yeah.
But then how do you decide which is good and which is evil?
Right, and that's what they're getting to. So this is why choice is so important. And the knowledge of the roots of evil. So choice is important to know, and also the knowledge of the roots of evil. We haven't gotten fully to that, but we wrote about that. We together channel that in the website. So they're saying that the roots of evil must be understood. Evil is usually a tool to fool. I like that, a tool to fool the masses, not usually just the one. Not usually just one. Does that mean just the one person?
Fool the masses, not the one. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. How does one recognize the difference? So they're asking us another question now. So how does one recognize
I like when they ask a question, because even as we speak, the people who are watching this aren't going, either saying, how is that? Or they're deciding within themselves how they recognize the difference.
Yeah, I think they're tapping into that. Don't you think so? Like, yeah, they're clarifying what it is we're thinking. They're saying it for us, because we don't have a chance right now for you to sit here live and ask these questions back.
But understand that what happens is they're not speaking for she, I, and the spirit. They're speaking for everybody that's on here. Very, very true. It's the group that they're referring to. It's the group that they're playing to, as it were. Right.
They're talking to all of us. Okay.
Right.
So how do we recognize the difference? Okay. Between good and evil. F-I first. G-O, good. N-O-N-E, the less. Nonetheless. Okay. All right, so let's see what they said. All right. Okay, looks like they started with good. They're talking about now good and evil. How do you know the difference? First, good. Good will always promote an open dialogue about any question at hand, and advise you to make up your mind on the validity of the discussion, and welcome differing ideas into the discussion. They will always honor freedom, expression, and though you maybe it's free expression.
Free expression.
Yeah, was that word? Was that word free or freedom? Right. I think I got it wrong. Was it free? F-R-E-E. Okay, free. Thank you. They will always honor free expression, and though you may not agree, they will love you nonetheless. So that's how you know if you're operating in good, choosing good, being around goodness. It says, good will always promote an open dialogue about any question at hand, and advise you to make up your mind on the validity of the discussion, and welcome differing ideas into the discussion. They will always honor free expression, and though you may not agree, they will love you nonetheless. So we can agree to disagree. Okay. E-V-I-L W-I-T-C-H. Interesting. All right, so now they're talking about knowing difference, and this is how you can tell when something is considered evil. Evil will always attempt to silence free voice. It will always attempt to silence free voice. They will choose the words you can use and those you cannot. Evil will never care if you agree or not. Whether they will by force, by proxy, or by rule of law make you think as they do or burn you as a witch. I think that really pulls it home. They will use analogies. Yeah, they'll use that. They'll use metaphors because that's what happened during the witch hunts. If some reason somebody said, they just all they had to say was, she's a witch, and they just pick you up and go burn you, or throw you in the water and drown you, or whatever they did to them. It was horrible things. So that we all can relate to that analogy. We all know about the witch hunts, and there's modern day witch hunts, and they're just saying evil, whatever evil is, and they're not saying an evil force, or they're just saying the behavior of evil, how it shows up, how it presents itself in the world is in ways like this. Evil takes away your free voice, takes away your words, tells you what you can and can't say, cannot say. It'll be by force, by proxy, or by rule of law. We'll find out who the they is, okay? But I think I know where they're going with this. But and if you don't do as they do, you're going to be burned as a witch. You're going to be,
You're a heretic.
Yeah, you're a heretic. You're abandoned.
Or you're the evil one. You're the one that's not conforming.
Right. Evil points the finger out there. Evil points the finger out there as opposed to looking at here. There's no room for anything else but what exists right there, whatever has been set up. Where good, the opposite, we call the opposite of evil, allows for such free expression and voices to be heard and to agree to disagree.
And love you just the same.
And love you no matter what. Yeah. I truly believe animals are full of nothing but good. They have, you guys know this, they have unconditional love. No matter what. Isn't that amazing?
Way to sneak an animal reference in.
Well, we love our animals here. I'll have to go get one of my cats here in a second. And they've all seen them. Seen all the cats. All right, so this is good. So I just want to ask you guys, you're using the word they, and I want to get this really cleared up for the listeners here that are part of this process we're doing. Because I don't want to say because I know you're not saying the government or this institution or this country, although we can apply this ourselves, but I want to know, you're using the word they, and let's explore what that means when you use that word or that pronoun. T-H-E-Y. C-A-U-S-E. Okay, so they are referring to, they are those that wish for you to hear their call to follow their cause. You really need to go read, and actually I will post a link to it, when we channeled their message about what evil was. And I'll just say it briefly here, evil is not a force that exists without us, outside of ourselves. It is a force that exists within humanity. It's a choice that we make. And so they picked up where we kind of left off when I say we, myself working with them, when they gave that message, they channeled that message to me about evil, what it was. And then I wrote it down, and there's been a lot of response to it. And so they're kind of picking up from right there. Okay. So this is what, I'm sure you guys are saying, okay, so we've got this auspicious time. How do we work with these energies? And I love that they're talking about, that your choice and working with the heart and how to move and bridge these choices into your higher self. And that's the gateway moving through it. So I'm going to ask them to speak to that. here we are at this time it's upon us. I mean, every time is change. Everything is always about evolution and change. But here we are at a time where it's really cool energy that can support us, we can really use right now. This is something we can use every single day in our life we're talking about. And I know really take this to heart so we can start using it now during this time of resetting your intentions.
But there has to be a reason why you're bringing this up now.
Right.
Before you reset your intentions.
Yes.
There's a reason. Is my blinders on?
Yeah, well, no, that's what I think they're going to. So I'm going to ask them just to further expand upon that and give us a little more insight into this. B U T B U T B U T. But. Okay, we're going somewhere with this. They just put 3 buts in there.
1 T.
Yeah, we're not double T's.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Keep that in if you like.
Okay.
Okay.
I like big butts. Okay, just kidding. T, nah. H, R, O, U, G, H. U, T is butt, T. Okay. All right, so this is what we got. That was a long one, you guys. All right, so it says, oh, this is interesting. They put it in first person, like as if they're somebody reconciling this within their own
head. Oh, that's interesting.
Because I just said the words my. Through my fog of learning, I come to a teacher who really makes me think. And so when I find out that my teacher is a criminal, but believes all or much as I do, I cross the bridge with this teacher. And I do so by bearing unfortunate truth. When I get to this bridge with a teacher that has been responsible for untold evil, and yet I choose to cross the bridge with this person, I do so by bearing unbearable truth. When I get to this bridge with a teacher that HA test. Okay, we got to ask for clarification here.
Let me see if I can read it.
That right there. Oh, well, hates. That hates.
Oh, hates. Oh, look at hates. There's a
These
test.
words, you guys, I have to like unscramble. They're just like all like blah, bunched together. Okay. So talking about different scenarios of crossing the bridge with different teachers, each one having some kind of fallacy or problem or issue. And where you are, where your thinking is, where your heart is with all of this. Okay, so when I'll read this again. You know how this goes. When I get to this bridge with a teacher that hates to...
No, hates the T-H-E.
Oh, that's T-H-E. That's right.
Hates the...
That hates the same things I do, and though they are willing to sacrifice the many to please the few, I still cross. And I do so by bearing ugly truth. That's they great?
I don't know if it's they. I think it's the great problem is...
Okay, let's make sure. So there's a Y there. Did I just put that Y in myself? Is this supposed to be there, right there? No, thank you. Okay, cross it out. The great problem is that although I know them to be evil, I absolve myself of their evil because I love puppies and I am there, and I am there for good. Oh, I see what you're saying. And can justify my actions with a simple but. Oh, interesting. Was there like 4 scenarios there about crossing the bridge, it sounds like?
3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah. Okay, so they're putting it as if we're thinking it ourselves. Okay, so through my fog of learning, I come to a teacher who really makes me think. And so when I find out that my teacher is a criminal, but believes all or much as I do, because you have the same beliefs, one, you cross the bridge with this teacher. And I do so by bearing unfortunate truth. That's what we call it, unfortunate truth. When I get to this bridge...
That they're criminals, it's just unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that they're called a criminal. Okay.
Yeah.
So we find ways to bury, we find ways to deceive ourselves into moving forward with our actions. We find justification.
Right.
Okay. And it's easy to find it sometimes. Okay. So that's the first one. So it's crossing the bridge with a teacher just because you guys believe alike. Okay. The second one is...
And the teacher can be anybody. It can be a friend. It can be...
Yeah. Remember friends, parents,
Right.
people you know, all these people that... Influences. All these people that influence in our life. It could be anybody.
Who they were was... How did they define they?
Oh, okay. They are those that you wish to hear... Okay. They are those that wish for you to hear their call to follow their cause.
Okay.
So the first teacher that you can cross the bridge with is one, and then you convince yourself, even though they're a criminal, you go, oh, I'm going to cross the bridge because we believe pretty much the same thing. Okay, the next one is, okay, let's see, where am I? Okay, then there's a teacher, okay, this is, then the unfortunate truth, okay, then I get to this bridge with a teacher that has been responsible for untold evil, and yet I choose to cross the bridge with this person, and I do so by bearing unbearable truth. So it's just unbearable to even think that what I'm hearing could be true. So there's no way.
Or even if they have committed all this evil, that's unbearable, so I have to bury it.
Yeah.
So in order to follow this person,
Right.
I've just got to put that out of my mind and
Put my head in the sand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I get this bridge. Okay. Then when I get to this bridge with a teacher that hates the same things I do, kind of like the first one, they totally agrees with me, but now this one totally hates everything you hate. And though they are willing to sacrifice the many, so they throw a lot of people under the bus to please the few, I still cross. And I do so by bearing ugly truths. Okay? So that's the third one, right?
Right.
The great problem is that although I know them to be evil, I absolve myself of their evil because I love puppies and I am there for good, and I can justify my actions with a simple but. But wait. But wait.
But they believe what I believe.
But wait, they hate same things I hate. But I'm not gonna look at what I've heard. That can't be true.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Okay. For me, what I think they're going with this is that this is what I've learned from the guides, is that we are all teachers and we're all students to each other. And the roles change and the people change. They come and go, and that's okay. And we allow ourselves to progress and evolve. Here we are talking about the gateways again, this period of 2 weeks. We allow ourselves to transform and evolve into our greatest self as we begin to use our freedom of choice when we cross these bridges and really look at what's coming at us, what we're experiencing, and not bury ourselves, not give the buts, and to be okay with allowing things to fall away, to change, to transform. This time is really about transformation. As you step into your awareness of who you are, as you step into your greater self, you must allow things to fall aside. You create a vacuum so the new can come in. So this time is also about beginnings and endings. So endings becomes a beginning becomes an ending, and that's what this 2 weeks is about as well. So I see how this is all fitting in nicely. Do you see that,
Me
Roger?
too.
Yeah. Okay. But, just kidding.
But
TOMAKE. S-T, no, E-C-O-N-D-G-I, gift. Okay. All right. There were some letters that stopped on that I had to say them twice, so I underlined some of them, but I don't know if it, oh, I see it now. See, I had to underline some letters. So we'll see if I think they were doing an acronym. Okay. To make this transition, you must cross the bridge, and you must bring with you wisdom, goodness, and love. If you choose to follow evil, there is no justification to bury unfortunate truth. To bury unbearable truth, to bury ugly truth, is to deny yourself Source's second gift.
Which is freedom of.
Well, what were the gifts, guys? This is a quiz.
Well,
goodness.
Goodness, love, and wisdom.
Okay, that's what's due. But it's freedom of choice.
Freedom, and then choice, freedom of choice, freedom of expression.
And love. What the two gifts? Freedom of choice and love?
Right.
Okay. So, we'll backtrack here, because we do need to get this. Oh, boy, we have a lot of, there's a lot here today. Okay. So the heart is where good, love, and wisdom reside. That is known as your source code. Within your heart, there resides no evil. Okay, where do we get to the gifts? And you are born, you only know good, for you're given two distinct gifts. The first is pure love. The second is absolute choice.
Well, absolute choice.
Yeah, absolute choice.
So you're denying yourself absolute choice if you align with evil.
Yeah, to make this transition, we're now talking about transition to cross this bridge into your higher self, into greater meaning, into becoming more aware of yourself and waking up within. To cross this bridge, you must bring with you the wisdom, the goodness, and love. That's what we came into the world with as a child, as a newborn. If you choose to follow evil, there is no justification to bury unfortunate truth. There is no justification, period. To bury unfortunate truth, to bury unbearable truth, to bury ugly truth, is to deny yourself Source's second gift, which is the gift of absolute choice.
Just saw this.
Yeah, but B-U-T. But there's also, I underline those too.
Yeah, but each one of them is a B-U-T.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate truth, B-U-T. Very unfortunate truth, very unbearable truth, very ugly truth. They're all, that's
okay.
but.
So that's what you're saying. So remember we said there's the three examples they gave us. We went through those. It was the criminal, all those examples.
Right.
Okay, so they made each one of those, they broke it down by, remember they went but, because we like big butts, but they did 3 butts. I cannot lie. Okay, so the first one is bury unfortunate truth, B-U-T. Second one is bury unbearable truth, B-U-T. Bury ugly truth, B-U-T. Those are the 3 things. Pretty clever, huh?
That is clever. And what I like the best is that it will deny you will deny yourself
your second
gift.
Again, we have the pure love, and then we have the absolute.
So does that mean that you are willing, by following evil, that you are willingly giving up your freedom? I mean,
yeah, you're giving up one of your freedom, one of your aspects of freedom. You sure are. This was a lesson, obviously, on that. Again, we opened this today to talk about these wonderful energies that are helping us awaken. This is awakening to your truth. It's awakening to our truth.
So what you were talking about was this time of transition, right?
Time of transition.
So look what they said.
Yeah,
to make this transition, you must cross the bridge, and you must bring with you wisdom, goodness, and love.
Yeah, and this is the transition we're making. They wanted to use a bridge. I like that because the bridge becomes very solid for us. Everybody's like, sometimes we talk about what's going on in the cosmos and astrologically. Sometimes we can get too airy-fairy with it, and it's just because we're talking about some items and things that are happening that we don't always have the words for. Because a lot of it is the unseen energies and forces that are working with us, and we're working with as well. They're saying in order to make any of these transitions of awakening.
So during this time,
this 2 weeks,
focus on being able to recognize if your teachers are asking you to give up something.
Yes.
If they're choosing your words for you and choosing which words you can say and which words you cannot say, and recognize that as what it is, evil. They're not letting you express yourself fully.
Right.
When you need to express yourself fully. And those people who you may even disagree with, as long as they let you express yourself fully, then you're looking at somebody that is good because they love you anyway, even if you don't love them or don't agree with them.
Well, they're gonna let you have your opinions, your viewpoints, your words, what you believe in, and they don't have to agree, and everybody can still get along and still love each other. You don't have to go away. This is wonderful because this transition awakening, it has to work through the heart. It has to work through that part of us that can open up to ourselves first, so we can be open to others. And that is the path.
But I think to get in the next dimension, we have to go through our higher self.
Oh, we will not be in the fifth dimension unless we go through our higher self. You're absolutely right. We have to.
But we're not going to get past the third dimension if we continue to bury these truths.
Well, we can't have the buts.
That's what I mean.
Let's make it easy. We got 3 buts here to explore, to look at during these 2 weeks. Again, it's the butt of bury unfortunate truth, if you're burying unbearable truths, or are you burying ugly truths? All the while you know you're doing it, and all the while you're giving up your freedom because you want to stay aligned, because somebody agrees with you, the same things you like, they like, the same things you hate, they hate. Instead of having this open discourse where there can be different opinions coming in, it allows you to have your freedom. So we should really look at that. And you're right, Ronnie, what you just said. In order to move into this next dimension, this next awakening awareness, we must look at these within ourselves and reset these, make these our new intentions, and understand that we need to go into the next phase with what we came into, these 2 beautiful gifts of pure love and absolute choice, and use them wisely. And see when we're not, reevaluate this, and boop, reset the button and start anew.
Where was the... Did we read the part about I don't know. I feel like we missed something.
Did we miss something, you guys? I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, let's see. I mean, we'll let them finish what they're saying. If we miss something, they'll definitely. They always make sure that we fully get this lesson, and then if we don't, they will let us know what it is we're missing. B, Y, F, O, R, C, E. E, X, P, R, E, S, expression. Still on?
Good, go on.
Okay, so they said. Oh, this might be what you were thinking of, that you wanted to state again. By force, by proxy, or by rule of law. Will you, they're asking a question now, okay, see. By force, by proxy, or by rule of law, will you know evil intent when those things seek to silence your freedom of expression? Was that supposed to be a question, you guys? No, okay, so excuse me, that was not a question. So, it says, will you, did you mean you will? Was that those 2 words supposed to be reversed? E, I, either way, okay, so let me read that again. By force, by proxy, or by rule of law, you will know evil intent when those things seek to silence your freedom of expression. So, anybody's trying to silence your freedom of expression in all these 3 different ways they just gave us, you will know when it's not the best intent for you. Interesting.
That's it, by force.
By force. It could be force. People do
What's
things.
proxy?
Well, by omission, by not necessarily being there, it can happen through somebody else.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So there could be people that are told to do this and rule this and take care of that or manage that, and they don't really understand why, but they're doing it, and so they're doing it from back here.
And they don't care.
Like a puppet master.
And they don't care. They don't care if you follow them or not. They don't care if you believe what they're doing.
No, they don't, because it's all about their call. Remember, it's all about their call.
So they'll do whatever they have to do.
Just remember, you guys.
Make you believe what they believe.
That's it. If somebody's trying to force you to believe what they believe, and just there's many different opinions out here. Same with this channel. People can disagree. That's fine by me.
Oh, even the board says that. Believe or do not believe.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and many times it says don't believe it. Question it. Question everything. You know.
It's smart to do that because in the process of questioning, you are allowing yourself to have all kinds of new ideas to arise. So you can begin to let this stuff bubble up and be born from within you. The ideas you have, the greatness of who you are, your unique expressions. As soon as we start losing those freedoms of these kinds of expressions, we really lose that within. We lose that part of us that is, as I mentioned in that mantra, I am source, you are source, source flows through us, we are all source. We don't want to ever cut ourselves off from source. Evil is something that will cut you off from that source, who you're meant to be. It'll cut you off from that flow.
Right, whether it attacks you or whether I don't think it can attack you unless you let it.
Right, correct. And this is what they're saying. They're saying you have this love that you came into the world with, you did not know anything that was opposite of that, and you had choice.
So if you come to a crossroad and you find yourself saying, but they think what I think. They do, but.
Yeah.
If you're starting to throw, if but is your
But I want to be
transition-
their friend, but I want to hang out with them, but I really want this job, or I really want, look, you might be making some excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else, if they're finished, or if there's anything else they want to say to you. Y O U M A May I N F R. Okay, let's see what they just said. So, here they go. There's a little question for you. A statement and a question. You may often be wrong. So what? Find your heart and then see the bridge in front of you more clearly. Yeah, we're going to make mistakes as we're traversing this bridge, as we're beginning to move more into the higher self, into the greater mind. Transitioning, becoming more of who we are. And so what if we make mistakes? That's what life's about. That's what we have choice to choose and go the direction we want to go. But they're saying just find your heart and then see the bridge in front of you more clearly. That's it.
So your way back is always to get out of your higher self, get back into your heart, and then move back.
I wouldn't say you ever should get out of your higher self. I think the goal is really to allow that to operate more with you, but I think that's a good point. It's more about, when you make a mistake, you're probably not on that bridge. So you're probably disconnected from your higher self. You're not plugged in to the socket of your higher self. So I would say, this is rethink what you just said, I would say it this way, it's more about, you made a mistake, you went down the wrong path, you're not happy with what you just did. So, okay, so what? You made a mistake, so now just get clear, get your intentions, get back in your heart, think of your pure love, your absolute choice, look at what's going on, look at the buts, look what's been going on, what have you been kind of lying to yourself about or deceiving yourself about, and then get in the heart space is where you're going to be able to see things with much more clarity. Use these two gifts you were given. Yeah, okay.
I can live with that.
All right, guys, let's see what else they have to say as we begin to wrap up this session. Okay, so they said, take these thoughts and live in abundance. Yeah, live in abundance. That's beautiful. That's part of the transition too. We are meant to not have to try so hard or to have just such tribulations. And although, that's life, it's going to happen because of just who we are, it's the nature of us, but we are meant to have such great prosperity and abundance around us. And this doesn't necessarily mean money, it just means having the abundance of everything that would bring you such great joy and that would allow you to see more purely and clearly into the hearts of others.
It reminds me of Spock.
How so?
Live long and prosper.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It totally reminds me of that.
Live long and prosper. That's great. All right. Some of their final words are this: what more should you need? Only you will know, so just go forward. Okay. I'll just ask them again, I'm going to say now, is this the closing statement, what they'd finally like to say before we leave, and then we'll close the session. TRUTH. Their final message to us in this session is, this will happen for the but is a very strong reality. Try hard to find truth. This will happen for
They're missing a word.
Yeah, we're missing a word here. And they're going to say it's because I missed it. It's a transmission. Sometimes the words get lost when it comes in. What word's missing? F, E, W, O. This will happen for very few. Is that where does the few go? What word does it go after? This will happen for few, or this will happen for very. I'm not sure that few goes. Very. Okay. V, E, F. Few after very. Okay. All right, got it. Okay, so it says this will happen for very few, for the but is a very strong reality. Try hard to find truth. Yeah, okay.
So even when you've been told, even when you've been warned, even when you see the but in your life, it's still a very strong motivator to stay.
Yeah, I think it's addicting.
Yeah.
We don't want to change, we don't want to transform. We're afraid it's going to really shift things around, or you're attached to somebody or something or an idea.
Well, that's interesting, when you look at it in terms of even relationships.
Oh, or ideas,
Yeah.
concepts, notions, things were, a lot of politics, a lot of things it could relate to. This will happen for very few. For the but is a very strong reality. It is. I mean, I can definitely appreciate that. But just try hard to find truth. So they really gave us a pathway, a gateway, an opening to find this truth so we can make these transitions.
Yeah, so you got 2 weeks to look at your...
we got 2 weeks, guys. We got to get going here.
Really take a good look at your butt.
Butts.
All of them.
Right. Gotta have fun with this, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna close the session. We just close it by putting our hands on here, and we just say thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining us, for being here during this session, this event. And we want to thank the guides so much. We appreciate your time. And they always say time isn't. We have no sense of time where we are, but we appreciate the time that you've been with us in our third dimension. And we thank you for these insights. And we say goodbye. So, thank you, Rodney.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. The fun part's when I watch it, and then I always wait a couple weeks so I can see everybody's comments. And the fun part for me is to watch it again, as if it's just happening,
Yeah.
and then to listen to or read everybody's comments. I really, really enjoy that.
You do? Yeah. We love the participation. I definitely appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys again for being part of the show, being here, subscribing, liking, sharing, discussing. It feels like a community to me, and I so appreciate that. And I know the guides, they do too. I mean, for them, they let us do what we need to do, but I think it's always great, to thank them and to thank you, because it wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you and for them. And again, thank you so much, and I look forward to you coming back. And I'm hoping soon. I know, Rodney, you've been very busy with your business.
Really busy.
Very busy, and so it's hard for us to set times to do these sessions. And so... Yeah, I know, you gotta go. I know. All right,
See you later.
Thank you so much for being here again. But so what we're looking to do is in the next couple, 2 or 3 months, and I just want to give you kind of a preview. We're going to do a live session. We're going to do a live show where you are going to be there with us asking the questions, and we're going to have the guides talk to you directly. I've mentioned this before, but we really would like to do that. We'll find the best time for it. I have been traveling a lot myself, and also been busy with some work stuff as well. So anyway, again, thank you again for joining the show. This was Creative Visions TV, and I'm Karen Dahlman, and I look forward to seeing you really soon, and enjoy the next 2 weeks. Find your intent, find it with joy, and then in that joy you'll find the clarity you need. Thank you again.